Good morning, St. Angela Merici Parish. This is Father John. I'm coming to you from the priest sacristy in the church. I'd like to speak to you a little bit about our patron saint, St. Angela Merici. In a moment, we'll go into the church and look at the stained glass window, and I will point out some features of that were important to us in our design and important for the church because, again, St. Angela is such an important part of our parish life. As our patron saint, she watches over us and cares for us, and her intercession is very important and powerful to us. So first of all, I thought I would share some things with you about the life of St. Angela. This is from my book of saints that I use at Mass frequently to talk about the saints. And so St. Angela Merici, whose feast day is January 27th, she was born in 1474 at Desenzano on the shore of Lake Garda, Italy. St. Angela Merici became a tertiary of St. Francis of Assisi at 15 years of age. That means she was a devotee of St. Francis and his spirituality. In a vision, God revealed to her that she would establish a company to promote the welfare of souls. So at Desenzano, she established a school for the instruction of young girls and a second school at Brescia, Italy. She gathered around her 12 religious companions and founded the Ursulines at Brescia, the order of St. Ursula. St. Angela was of a reflective bent and possibly the first to grasp the changing role of women in the society transformed by the Renaissance. She envisioned that those who joined her would remain in the world but devote themselves to every type of corporal and spiritual work of mercy, with special emphasis on education. I point that out, brothers and sisters, because the corporal and spiritual works of mercy are what we're going to be about as a parish this year. However, her idea of education was very different from that of a convent school. She preferred to send her followers to teach the girls in their own families, in their own homes. Through this, she hoped to effect an improvement in social conditions, for it was her belief that disorder in society is the result of disorder in the family. We might want to agree with her on that. Her idea of a religious order of women without wearing distinctive habits and without solemn vows and enclosure was in advance of her times, although her order was obliged to adopt the canonical safeguards then required of all nuns. On November 25th, 1535, the solemn canonical institution of the Company of St. Ursula took place in the oratory of the Piazza del Duomo. As a patron, St. Angela chose St. Ursula because ever since her martyrdom, St. Ursula was regarded as the ideal type of Christian virginity. This is the beauty of saints. Now y'all have to look up St. Ursula as well. So, in the year of her death, 1540, it was estimated that at least half the town of Brescia was either Lutheran or Calvinist. However, the schools of the Ursuline nuns did their share in strengthening and extending Catholicism and in safeguarding Italy from what we now term modern unbelief. She was canonized in 1807 by Pope Pius VII. A lot to unpack there, but I think that's the beauty of the saints. There's always something we can learn about the saints, and especially their connection to other saints. Her connection to St. Francis of Assisi is one that can be explored. Her connection to St. Ursula is one that can be explored. So again, brothers and sisters, we want to include St. Angela in our prayers, certainly tomorrow, but also in our future as we continue to spend our time here working on the works of mercy that were so important to her and her order. So now we'll move to the church. We're very proud of this beautiful stained glass window depicting our patron saint, St. Angela Merici. And so I thought I would describe a few of the details of the stained glass that the designers and actually with a lot of input from you, the parishioners, chose for the depiction. So you can see St. Angela is in her habit there, and she is with a group of children. By my count, there's some 8 or 9 children there at her feet, learning from her. She has a book, it's the Bible. The Bible is open, and as she is teaching the scene that you see above her, which is Jesus washing the feet of his disciples. This was what occurred on Holy Thursday as Jesus was celebrating the Eucharist, what would be our Eucharist with them, the Last Supper. And it was about service. Jesus was saying that we had to be about service to one another, even as he was. So St. Angela, that was her thing, that was what she was about, to be of service to others. She is teaching the children that lesson. And so there are a number of details. You can also see that the angels are there as well. We have, by my count, 4 angels watching the scene, and of course blessing the children and blessing St. Angela as she's teaching this. And the other details that strike you, first is one of the children is holding up a red apple to her, kind of a traditional student-to-teacher gift. But, and I guess maybe I'd never noticed it about apples before, but it's very much in the shape of a heart. So it's kind of like that child is giving his heart to St. Angela. Although St. Angela founded a school for girls, a lot of the figures are not delineated that way, so you can kind of picture any child being taught by St. Angela. And one of the interesting things that I actually just noticed today was this one figure down here at the bottom, which almost looks like a child at the very feet of Jesus, of St. Angela, but without the details or the form. And tickling my brain, I'm either imagining this, I just made it up, or it was part of the design, is that represents future generations of St. Angela Merici children who will be taught here in this parish and under the patronage of St. Angela Merici. So kind of representing future generations. We have the generations that we know, our own children who are here learning about God, and then future generations. Another important feature which was added by community acclaim, or they wanted it very badly, was our kind of mascot. We have a little cardinal who is also sitting at the feet of St. Angela, learning from her. So we have a nice little flock of cardinals back in our wooded area. Of course, the pretty one is the male cardinal, and he comes and feeds at our bird feeder. So we've adopted him as the mascot for the parish. So all of this is just to remind us that St. Angela Merici continues to watch over us and to teach us. And by this stained glass window, we come to realize that. And hopefully you can see your own children here in the scene, or you can see yourself in the scene even as a child at heart, learning from St. Angela. And the fact that she's teaching us about service speaks to us as well. It's about our call to service, our call to continue her work in the church today through educating our children. So, hope this has been helpful to you. See you at Mass.